Hello, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and welcome back to my official channel.
Hey everyone, it is Jacqueline McInnes Wood here, and welcome back to my official channel. Look, I am running on absolute fumes today, and I have been chugging coffee, just trying to keep my eyes open. I have been typing furiously to get this massive update out to you guys because the April 1st spoilers just dropped, and my brain is literally melting right now. I am just a tired girl on a deadline trying to make sense of this absolute insanity that is happening on The Bold and the Beautiful. So grab a snack and settle in because this is going to be a very long and very messy deep dive into the absolute chaos going down at the Cliff House. And I mean, total chaos. Just completely unhinged soap opera drama at its finest. So let us just jump right into it because there is so much to unpack and my fingers are already cramping. The spoilers for Wednesday, April 1 are wild, just completely wild. We have to talk about Sheila Carter Sharp and her sudden realization that things are not what they seem. And we have to talk about Steffi Forrester Finnegan coming home to a literal crime scene. Well, maybe not a crime scene, but a broken door and a whole lot of lies. Keep reading to find out what is coming up because I am about to dump a ton of raw, unfiltered information on you. I am not even going to worry about making this sound pretty. I just need to get the facts out. Let us start off with Sheila. So Sheila initially believed Taylor Hayes was by herself at the Cliff House. She really thought she was doing a good thing. She brought flowers, because she thinks she and Taylor are besties now after that whole rooftop incident. But she gets to the house and she hears moaning, strange noises coming from upstairs. And Sheila, being Sheila, assumes the absolute worst. She thinks Taylor is being attacked or is in severe pain. So what does she do? She goes into Steffi's kitchen and grabs a butcher knife, a massive, terrifying butcher knife. And she kicks the bedroom door in, just completely busts it down. But when she busts in, she sees Taylor, and Taylor is alone in the bed. Well, she looks alone because Deacon Sharp has literally just thrown himself out of a second-story window. I am not even kidding. Deacon heard the banging and the yelling, and he panicked. He leaped out of the window with zero clothes on, naked, just completely bare in the cold ocean breeze. He scrambled down the side of the house and hid in the bushes. Just picture that for a second. Deacon Sharp naked in the Cliff House bushes, terrified that his psychopathic wife is going to slice him up. It is hilarious, but also terrifying. So Sheila bursts in with the knife, and Taylor is sitting there in her underwear, sweating and shaking. Taylor is terrified. She literally begs Sheila not to kill her. She says, please do not do this. And Sheila is confused. She says she came to save her. And then it dawns on Sheila, the moans were not pain, they were pleasure. Taylor was having some fun, and Sheila gets kind of giddy about it. She thinks it is great that Taylor has a mystery man, but she also wants to know where he went. Taylor covers the best she can. She makes up some excuse, but she is panicking because Deacon left his clothes on the floor. Taylor manages to stash Deacon's clothes out of sight before Sheila can fully process what is happening. But Taylor and Deacon make one massive mistake. They do not realize that Sheila is incredibly observant. She might be crazy, but she is not stupid. And on her way out of the house, Sheila spots something downstairs, a pizza box. And not just any pizza box, an Il Giardino pizza box. The exact same restaurant that her husband owns and operates. The exact same husband who supposedly had a dinner date with his daughter, Hope Logan Spencer, tonight. And that is when the gears start turning in Sheila's head. She looks at the pizza box. She thinks about the timing. She thinks about the fact that Taylor's mystery man vanished into thin air, and she starts to get suspicious, very suspicious. So Sheila decides to play detective. She leaves the Cliff House and she heads straight to Il Giardino. She wants to see if Deacon is there. She asks an employee if they have seen him, and the employee says no. Deacon has not been there all night, and Sheila's suspicion just skyrockets. So what does she do next? She goes to their apartment. She wants to catch him in a lie. But Deacon is already one step ahead, barely. After freezing his absolute off in the bushes, he managed to sneak away. He went back to the apartment and he set up a little scene. When Sheila walks in, she finds Deacon on the couch. He is fake sleeping, just pretending to be passed out, probably shivering under the blanket because he just ran across town with no clothes on. When Deacon wakes up, he tries to act totally normal. He rubs his eyes and asks what time it is. But Sheila has some odd questions for him. She asks about his dinner with Hope. She asks about his night. And Deacon already has his alibi in place. He lies right to her face. He says, dinner with Hope was great, and he just came home and crashed. But Sheila is looking at him with those crazy eyes. She knows something is off. She can feel it in her bones, and she is going to dig until she finds the truth. But let us leave the apartment for a second and go back to the Cliff House, because the next morning is when the real nightmare begins. The spoilers for Tuesday, March 31 and Wednesday, April 1 reveal that Steffi and John Finnegan return home. They've been on a lovely overnight camping trip with Kelly and Hayes. Just a nice, wholesome family getaway. They are probably exhausted and smelling like campfire smoke and just want to take a shower and relax in their own home. But they walk through the front door and the vibe is completely off. Taylor is there to greet them, and Taylor is smiling. She is trying so hard to act like everything is normal. She asks about the camping trip and tries to play the role of the happy grandma, but Steffi is no fool. Steffi has incredible instincts. She takes one look at her mother and she knows something is wrong. Taylor is jittery. She is nervous. And then Steffi sees the bedroom door. The door is busted. The frame is splintered. The lock is broken. You cannot just hide a kicked-in door. Steffi demands to know what happened. And Taylor realizes she cannot lie her way out of this one. She has to come clean. She has to tell her daughter the truth. So Taylor takes a deep breath and she spills the beans. She tells Steffi that she invited Deacon over. She tells her that they were intimate. And then she drops the absolute bombshell. She tells Steffi that Sheila showed up with a knife and kicked the door down. And Steffi just completely loses her mind. She goes absolutely ballistic. And honestly, can you blame her? Steffi has been traumatized by Sheila for years. Sheila literally shot Steffi in a dirty alleyway and left her for dead. Sheila shot Finn, and Steffi thought her husband was dead for months. Sheila is a monster in Steffi's eyes. And Steffi has worked so hard to keep her family safe and keep Sheila away from her children. And now she finds out that her own mother invited Sheila's husband into their home, into the house where the kids sleep. And because of that reckless, stupid decision, Sheila came onto the property with a deadly weapon. Steffi is livid. She is screaming at Taylor. She is ripping into her. She tells Taylor that she warned her. She told Taylor over and over again to stay away from Deacon. She told her that playing with fire would get them all burned. And Taylor just ignored her because she was lonely and wanted some romance. Steffi is not just angry, she is terrified. The fact that Sheila was standing in their house with a butcher knife brings back all the trauma. Steffi starts to panic. She realizes that Sheila is going to put the puzzle pieces together. Sheila is going to figure out that Deacon was the man in Taylor's bed. And when she does, all hell is going to break loose. Steffi knows firsthand how out of control Sheila can get when she is betrayed. Sheila is a woman scorned, and a woman scorned with a violent criminal record is the most dangerous thing on the planet. Steffi tells Taylor that she has put a target on all of their backs. She tells her that the entire family is at risk now. And Steffi is not going to just sit around and wait for Sheila to attack. She decides to take matters into her own hands. Steffi is a protector. She is a mama bear, and she is going to shut this down immediately. First, she is going to deal with Taylor, and then she is going to deal with Deacon. I can totally see Steffi driving straight over to Il Giardino and getting right in Deacon's face. She is going to launch a furious confrontation. She is going to tell Deacon that he is a selfish coward for dragging her mother into this mess and bringing his psychotic wife to her doorstep. She is going to warn Deacon that if Sheila comes near her kids, she will end him. Steffi does not play around. When she is backed into a corner, she fights. And right now she is fighting for her family's safety. But back to Sheila, because Sheila is the real wild card here. She is acting like a detective. She is piecing together the clues, the pizza box, the fake sleeping, the discarded clothes, and she is going to interrogate Hope. We know from the spoilers that Sheila is going to question Hope about this supposed dinner date she had with Deacon, and Hope is a terrible liar. Hope is going to stumble and sweat and look extremely uncomfortable, and that is going to give Sheila the confirmation she needs. Sheila will have a strong hunch that Hope is covering for her father. And once Sheila knows for sure that Deacon and Taylor are sleeping together, what is she going to do? The spoilers ask a very interesting question. Could we see evil Sheila return, or could this new reformed Sheila react in a different way? There are a lot of ways to get back at guys besides killing them. And that is the terrifying part. Physical violence is one thing, but psychological warfare is entirely different. If Sheila just grabs a gun and shoots them, she goes back to prison. And Sheila does not want to go back to prison. She loves her freedom. She loves her restaurant, so she might decide to play a long game. She might decide to mess with Taylor and Deacon's heads. She might pretend she does not know anything. She might smile in Deacon's face and serve him coffee while secretly plotting to destroy his entire life. She could ruin his business. She could ruin his relationship with Hope. She could completely isolate him until he has nothing left. And Taylor, oh man, Taylor is in so much trouble. Sheila could make Taylor's life a living hell. She could stalk her. She could leave little clues around to make Taylor think she is going crazy. She could manipulate her patients. She could do so many horrible things without ever leaving a physical bruise. And that is what has Steffi so terrified. You cannot protect yourself from an enemy who operates in the shadows. It is just so frustrating to watch Taylor make these decisions. I mean, she is a smart woman. She has a medical degree. She gives advice to people for a living, and yet her own personal life is a complete disaster. She knows Deacon is married to the woman who tried to murder her daughter, and she still invites him over for a hookup. It is just mind-boggling. And now Steffi has to clean up the mess. Steffi is always the one cleaning up the messes. And poor Finn, he just wants to go to work at the hospital and come home to a peaceful house. He just wants to surf and hang out with his kids. And instead he comes home to a busted door and a screaming wife and the looming threat of his biological mother coming back to finish the job she started in that alleyway. Finn is going to be so angry. He is going to be angry at Taylor for bringing this chaos into their sanctuary. And he is going to be angry at Deacon for being so weak. The tension in the coming episodes is going to be off the charts. The spoilers say Steffi will blow up at Taylor and bark out some warnings. And I am here for it. I want to see Steffi lay down the law. I want to see her kick Taylor out of the Cliff House if she has to. If Taylor cannot respect the boundaries and keep the family safe, then she does not deserve to live there. It sounds harsh, but it is the reality of dealing with a threat like Sheila Carter. And what about Deacon? Deacon is sweating bullets right now. He thinks he got away with it. He thinks jumping out the window and fake sleeping saved his skin, but he is so stupid. He left his clothes. He left the pizza box. He is leaving a trail of breadcrumbs right to his own destruction. And when Sheila finally drops the act and lets him know, she knows he is going to wish he had just stayed in the bushes. I am just typing so fast. My keyboard is smoking. There are so many moving parts to this storyline. We have the Steffi and Taylor dynamic, which is completely fractured right now. We have the Sheila and Deacon marriage, which is built on a mountain of lies. We have Hope caught in the middle, forced to lie for her dad and terrified of her stepmother. And we have the looming threat of violence hanging over everyone's heads. It makes you wonder how this is all going to end. Will Sheila end up back behind bars? Will Deacon lose everything he has worked for? Will Taylor finally realize she needs to leave Los Angeles and get her head straight? And will Steffi and Finn ever get to live a normal, peaceful life? Probably not, because this is a soap opera and peace is boring. But still, you have to feel bad for Steffi. She just cannot catch a break. So yeah, that is the massive update for Wednesday, April 1. Sheila is suspecting the truth. Steffi is discovering the horror of what happened while she was away. Taylor is crying and making excuses. Deacon is pretending to sleep, and the whole world is about to explode. I am going to be watching every single second of this because the drama is just too good. I know I've been rambling and this text is probably super clunky in places, but I just wanted to get all this information out to you guys as fast as humanly possible. I am not even editing this. I am just hitting publish and going to get another cup of coffee. The character motivations, the history, the trauma, it all plays into this explosive week. Think about the history here. Sheila has always been obsessed with the Forresters. She has always wanted to be part of the family, and she finally got a piece of that by marrying Deacon and forcing her way into the orbit. But she is still an outsider. She is still the villain, and she knows it. When she sees that her own husband prefers a Forrester adjacent woman like Taylor over her, it is going to trigger every single insecurity and violent impulse she has ever had. It is the ultimate rejection. And for Taylor, it is the ultimate hypocrisy. Taylor has spent years judging Brooke for her scandals and her affairs. Taylor has always painted herself as the moral superior, the good doctor, the ethical one. And here she is sleeping with a married man in her daughter's house while her daughter is out of town. It is so messy. It is so hypocritical. And Steffi is going to call her out on all of it. Steffi is not going to hold back. I really hope Steffi gives it to her straight. I hope she looks Taylor in the eye and tells her to grow up, because someone has to. And it clearly is not going to be Deacon. Deacon is just coasting through life, making bad decisions and hoping he does not get caught. Well, his luck has officially run out. Sheila's powers of deduction are coming to be a massive problem. The countdown is on, the vengeance is brewing, and I am so here for it. Okay, I am finally going to wrap this up before my fingers actually fall off. Thank you guys so much for reading this massive brain dump. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think Sheila will go back to her evil ways, or will she play a smarter game this time? Do you think Steffi is right to be this angry? And how dumb is Deacon for leaving that pizza box? Seriously. All right, I am out.